So from corporate travel to cruising to a new horizon, joining me, please welcome Michael Goh, President, Dream Cruises and Head of International Sales for Genting Cruise Lines. Michael.
Hi, Hoon and everyone.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
How are you? I know you're in Singapore,
I'm
right?
good,
I mean, you're not on board a ship, right? You know, even though your background is about a ship.
I wish I am, but I'm not.
So there's been quite a lot of talk about cruises today, actually, from Eric and from booking.com, and talking about how COVID has created domestic cruise markets in places like Singapore, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. And I think you shared this data with me. You said as of last December, Genting Cruise Lines reported carrying around 400,000 passengers in those markets. And on December 22nd, you started cruises out of Penang, Malaysia. Okay, so we've got this Omicron variant, but how have those cruises gone and what kind of disruption are you seeing?
I'm happy to say that we are now hitting close to 500,000 as of today. I think despite the Omicron, we actually started our Penang operation, and the response has been so encouraging. I think if you take the operation, I think we were the first cruise line in the world to restart the cruise business, and we presently operating our cruise ship in Singapore, in Hong Kong, in Taiwan, in Malaysia. So in fact, in the Southeast Asia and North Asia market, we most probably commands the highest percentage of the passenger. Yeah, right. So we think that yeah.
Okay, so you're seeing good demand from the Malaysian cruise, which goes from Penang to Langkawi, the domestic cruise?
Yes, right. The response has been so encouraging. And obviously, I think we have observed a lot of a safety protocol. So has been a very safe cruising experience for our passenger.
Okay, and I think at Cruise World Asia, you spoke about, I think not you, but somebody else spoke about the possibility of having cross-border cruising starting in Southeast Asia, maybe this quarter, which was maybe perhaps like Singapore, Penang, Phuket, which is going to be a breakthrough because we haven't had a lot of cross-border travel in Southeast Asia. Is this still a reality, you think, given the current setback?
This is definitely very possible. It might not happen like now, but definitely in the near future. Now, if I would actually put in the perspective, because I think we had actually started the Singapore cruising. We started Penang and the Langkawi. And obviously, I think with our operations in Malaysia, we work with the authority, and they can also see the way how what kind of safety measures in place and how we operate. And to link the two into one, definitely I think have a good advantage actually in that. So beside cruise line ourselves, that talk to the port and the authority, a lot is also got to be on the G2G level. So between Singapore, Malaysia, and I think some report had been saying that both sides welcome the idea, and I'm confident that this will might not be like right now immediate, but will happen soon.
Right. Okay. So how about Japan? I know it's a big cruise market. It is a big cruise market in Asia. One of the biggest in Asia, right? And you have been operating cruises in Japan. What happened to your cruise business in Japan during this time, and what are your plans for 2022?
Now, I think for Japan, most of the time it's actually the port of call that we go to. Take example, when the international cruising is allowed, our ships in Taiwan call to Okinawa like three times in a week. And I think more so that when we have ships that home port in North Asia, and we also have the seasonal deployment of our ship calling into Japan. Definitely, Japan is a very important market, be it whether it is a fly cruise business or it is a port of call. Now, of course, I think as of now, the cruisings are not started yet, but we do see a big potential in there. I think especially be it whether on FIT, Fry Cruise, or my segment, I think that's a good market from our past working with this market.
I saw a press release that one of your ships has been certified with a MICE certification, that you are, have put in event tech to have your ships hold hybrid events. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, I'm actually happy to share that the World Dream in Singapore, we certified by Siew as a event safe cruise ship. In fact, this is the first cruise ship in the world with this certification. I think we have to go through a very stringent of the criteria to make sure that when we had the corporate event or meeting or incentive on board the ship, the safety protocol are being followed very closely. So we passed actually all the certifications. So it's the first cruise ship in the world to certify actually under that. Now, I want to explain the reason why that we do that, because I think at this point of time, safeties always come into people's mind when they travel. And we felt it's very important for us to educating the MICE segment that the cruise ship is an excellent venue, and also is a venue that provide a very safe environment. So that's actually the reason we do that. Yeah. Okay,
great. So maybe we can have a hybrid, event on board your ship with a land audience. So anyway, other than other than this new opportunity that has come up for you, you see new customer segments, right? And I was speaking to Eric not far of Klook just now, and he's typical, like he would never have gone on a cruise, and he's cruise customer. Laurel Holdsworth from Booking, now a cruise convert. And with younger customers, there's been new ways of buying, online, and you've done a global API integration with Klook, for example. So tell us what that does for you and your customers. Like, what are you hoping to get out of that?
Now we have, in fact, we have a great partnership with Klook. Obviously, I think in the less than a year of partnership, I think they actually jumped their kind of performance into the top ranking. I think obviously, I think in today's business, I think dynamic is important, and then as well as the e-commerce actually platform that can reach and communicate the younger segment of the market is also important, because I think this pandemic has definitely changed the behavior of the consumer. I think when cruise business is concerned, we see a big jump, I think, in terms of the younger groups of people that cruising with us, to put them in the right perspective. Age groups of between 20 to 40 now commands about 70% of the business, and the 40s and above commands about 30. I think this is kind of a reverse compared with the pre-COVID. So therefore, it is so important actually for us to be able to go into a new platform that able to engage and demonstrate and educate and convert and transact at the same time. So Klook and other e-commerce definitely do this job very well. Yeah.
And you got to make sure, I mean, that's an amazing, reversal, split in customer demographics. And you have to make sure that with your new itineraries or your ships that you actually hold their attention even when they can fly again, right? Because now they are, going on because they maybe can't travel anywhere, but you've got to hold that market even after COVID. So talking about e-commerce giants like Lazada, Shopee, Zalora, Shopback, they've also worked with you, right? And you worked with Lazada, and you mentioned that sales went from $0 to a couple of million US dollars in a couple of promotions. So what lesson can travel brands, do you think, learn from this kind of e-commerce giants? Like, what do they do for you that travel brands don't do?
Now, obviously, I think if you look at the pre-COVID, the cruise business actually got into the e-commerce platform is not common. And when we started, to be quite honest, I think we struggle because we might not really understand that segment or business too well. But then I think when we go into in-depth study, we feel that this segment is about engagement, it's about educating, it's about encourage transaction at the same time. So we actually went into, we call the shoppertainment. While we engage the KOL or the cruiser, they share their experience, they share their video, and make it really, to let the kind of reviewer understand that, oh, wow, it's something that I really missed out. And then at the same time, we convert the business. So, but of course, I think beside the so-called the shoppertainment, we also have created our shop, the Dream Cruises shop, with this partner. And then with this partner, obviously in the shop, we attract follower. This follower actually allowed us actually to be lifetime that keep consistently communicating with them. So whenever there's a special program on board the ship, and first they'll be the first actually to get information. And then also in addition, we go into chat board, and then we communicate. Communication is the key. Yeah.
Right. So KOLs for you now are, a bit like, the new travel agent, the new travel consultant, right? Who used to be able to advise people. Now you've got KOLs telling people how exciting a cruise is, and then they can transact immediately. And so you have created through your Dream Cruise shop on an e-commerce marketplace, a community of cruises, which is a new community for you, which you can then keep selling your special products to.
Yeah, actually it is. Now, of course, in this pandemic, of course, there are a couple of very significant change in the consumer behavior. I mentioned about younger groups of people, the millennium. I think people said, okay, where is this group of people when they're cruising? Would they be kind of spending on board the ship? But our statistics show that they spend actually even more. Okay, and then the second segment is people are really hungry of luxurious space. So as all the Dream ship has the palace, and we provide the butler services, private dining, private pool, and really I think this is what the market is looking at. We see a really significant increase of the demand. In fact, most of the time, our suites, the close to 150 suites on board the ship, right, are full, and people are rushing actually to book, and they love the palace experience. So,
so people are buying premium and spending more on the ship, right? So those trends that you've seen in Southeast Asia, have you seen similar changes, trends happening in the Northeast Asia markets like South Korea and Japan, for example? Are you working with e-commerce marketplaces in those markets as well?
Now, with the success of what we do over here, we are now also kind of like start preparing in Japan, in Korea, when the market reopen, where we anticipate will be the next couple of months. So the timing is perfect actually for us, because I think with the experience that we do in Southeast Asia here, that's something that really give us a good head up in North Asia. Yeah.
Okay, so one market that is quite interesting, I think Japan actually was considered one of the top halal destinations, right, pre-pandemic. It was very attractive for halal travelers, and you run halal ships. So I think you have the first halal certificate. How big is the halal market opportunity in cruising?
When we started, when the Genting Dream in Singapore in the pre-COVID environment is already a certified halal ship. But because I think at the time we concentrate a lot in terms of the food experience, F&B experience. But when the COVID hit, we realized that it is important for us to have the halal ship, halal status for the World Dream, who is actually the first time the home port in Singapore. So we, for a few reasons, one being Singapore source populations are only like 5 million people. So we need to expand that segment of the business. And we went in and we quickly do that and we managed to get the ship certified. This time, when we went into halal certification, we were not just talking about the F&B experience. We go into really a lifestyle, I think, in terms of we provide prayer room to our Muslim community. We even have a halal friendly spa. Even in the medical facility, we also have kind services for a female Muslim passenger. So we'd actually go on the full extent. The market response was really excellent. And till now, I think just Singapore ship alone, we would have hit more than 25,000 Muslim friends. Now, for us actually to do that, obviously, we are not just actually looking at the domestic market. If you look around, like in Malaysia and Indonesia, more than 75% of populations are Muslim. So when the market will open, that really gives us an edge to target this groups of very potential traveler.
Right.
And interesting,
I know. So this
they are good spender.
Yeah, so we have to wrap up pretty soon. And I know, like, sensitive topic, it got pretty bad press at the start of the pandemic, right? Cruising, all those horror stories of people stuck in ships. But somehow I think out of cruises to nowhere, it came out to be a pretty sort of a safe environment. But the news turned pretty negative out of the US towards the end, and there was even an advisory for for vaccinated people not to go on cruises. So are you seeing the similar sort of sentiment in Asia among your customers about cruising, as we are seeing seems to be in the US?
Now, if you look at the booking trend that we have, I think we basically filled up a lot of occupancy that actually given to us. We even see that the forward booking trend was even stronger actually versus the pre-COVID time. Now, I think I think the key go back into educating and the execution, because I think for the more than the 1 year of the operation here, we have definitely demonstrated, Dream Cruises has definitely demonstrated to consumer that educating on safety and executing on safety. And I think that fully convinced the consumer. Therefore, I think the business outlook has been so positive here.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap up with rapid fire, Michael. One word answer, okay? You got to pick one. North Asia or Southeast Asia, which has the bigger potential?
This one, I must say both.
No, you must choose.
As of now, Southeast Asia.
Okay. Best-selling itinerary in Japan?
Japan, Korea. Means that Korea itinerary.
Okay. Best-selling itinerary globally?
Europe.
Okay. Thank you, Michael. I look forward to getting on a cruise, cross-border cruising, not nowhere, but going somewhere. So thank you for sharing your insights and knowledge with our audience. Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Michael. Thank you.
Bye.